Some people in Wenham went to a poultry farm on West Moors. The farm is called Knock Farm. In each house there are about 2,000 chickens, and in each cage there are 3 chickens. In the battery house, in each cage, there is a little pipe from which they drink. The water that they drink comes from a big tank above the cages. There were thousands of chickens in the battery house, and it was very noisy.
The eggs roll down a little tray, then the ladies pick them up from trays. The chickens feed from troughs which are in front of their cages. Each chicken lays about 1 egg a day. To take them out of the cages you have to push up a flap, then it comes off.
Most of the chickens are commercial breeds. Except for the battery cages, there are 4 chickens to a cage. If the chickens don't have lights, they will not lay and they won't be able to eat and drink. So the farmer keeps the lights on 17 hours a day so that he can get more eggs. We also found out how the chickens makes an egg.
That's soft-shelled ones.
Yeah, we've got a few chickens.
Have you? That's when the chicken forgets to put the shell on. So because the chicken is like, inside the chicken is like a conveyor, like a conveyor belt in a factory. It's like, say somebody's making lipsticks or something, they put the stuff in first, the base, then the lipstick, then the case, and then the outer case. The chicken is very similar. Its inside is thousands of very tiny small eggs being produced inside its body, and every so often it lets one go, every 24 hours, and it's inside its body is a special cycle which lets them go, a special mechanism. And these little eggs go down like a production line. First of all, the yolk is, there's a nucleus inside the egg. I don't know if you've learned anything about that. There's a nucleus inside the egg, then there's the yolk, and then there's the white, that goes on next, and then the shell, that goes next, and then if it's a brown egg, the chicken puts the colour. I don't know if you know this, an egg is white until the last process in the chicken, and then the chicken puts the colour on. It's a very clever thing actually. Puts the cover on, the chicken lays the egg, and there it is.
We went to see the egg grading machine. The egg grading machine is for sorting out large, medium, standard and small eggs. The machine has a light to see if the egg is cracked or if there is anything wrong with it. We recorded this inside the building with the machine in it.
They should all fall off that middle. Most of them will fall off where those are now. Here's the egg that goes under it goes up, and as it goes up it makes an electric connection which totals it up. So this morning the ladies have graded 787 dozen eggs and nine eggs.
And 4 cracks.
Yeah, that's it. Well, they come down
in 2 seconds. What's 2 seconds?
That means if there's a very small crack in them or there's something wrong internally inside the egg.
Where does it go?
And then that's for this. That counts every egg that goes under here.
Do you put all the eggs in this and it goes?
That's it. They go that way on the trays, and then they go there, and then as they go onto that end of the machine, as they go off into the different grades, they're counted again. And so we know that there was 397 large, 337 dozen standards, and 13 dozen mediums this morning that they've graded.
At the end of the visit, we asked the farmer a lot of questions, and he gave us some interesting answers.
The birds come out of here, they're on what we call natural daylight at the moment. There's no light in there, and they're governed by the normal day length, which is, what, about 9 or 10 hours now, isn't it? Not that long, something like that. So, say about 9 hours then, that they have natural daylight. When they go into the battery house, to encourage them to lay eggs, we gradually increase. We start off with what they had in the house, which would be 8 hours or 9 hours, and then slowly, week by week, we increase it, half an hour to start with per week extra, and then an hour after a certain time, an hour per week. So they gradually get up to 17 hours daylight, which is about 8 or 9 hours of natural daylight, plus the lights are on in the evening or at night, and that gives them about 17 hours light altogether. Because the light is a direct stimulus to a chicken. If we left the light off for half that time, they would probably lay about half as many eggs, and they would be very unprofitable. So light is a big stimulus.
What sort of diseases might the chickens get?
They don't get so many now. They're vaccinated. The chicken are what we call vaccinated with special vaccines now against most of the well-known diseases. There's diseases called Marek's disease, fowl pest. I bet you've heard of. What else is there? They get leg paralysis. That's another one. They get IB. They get IB, which is called infectious bronchitis, which affects the shell on the egg. And what else is there? I think that's most of the well-known. Most of is. You can look them up if you can, if you've got a library.
We got a real big library.
You can have a look, see what all the diseases are, and see what effect it has on the chicken.
I know. How old are they when they start to lay?
I said they're about 21 weeks old when they start laying eggs.
Do you grow any food to eat yourself?
Say that again, sorry.
Do you grow any food?
Not for the chickens. We grow lettuce in the summer. All these fields are full up with lettuce in the summer. We grow those. That's not for the chicken. That's for that's all the people down in Bournemouth.
When we got back to school, we wrote something about the visit and also made some tapes of what we had done.